Hey everybody, welcome back to more Space Marine. I'm still Niggeroth. I have returning HarveyMantaco here with me.
That's me. I'm Harvey.
Oh yes.
Harvey. He's a big rabbit.
Comprises
Oh, I'm familiar with that topical thing that you just brought up there, actually.
What other famous Harveys can you think of?
God,
Harvey
that might
Keitel?
be the only one. Harvey Danger?
Harvey.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Harvey Dangerfield?
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me of there was a Rodney Dangerfield. I use the term joke loosely, but he goes into a doctor's office, and the doctor says, "I need a urine sample, a sperm sample, a blood sample, and a fecal sample." And he just pulls off his underwear and hands it to him. Yeah,
I think
know,
I've heard that. Let's start this off classy.
Obviously, because hey, look, it's a chimera, I think. No,
Is that the kind of tank it is? I'm not as Warhammer as you.
That might be a chimera. Chimeras are normally transport units, but you can pretty much strap on whatever you want to them. I'm sure someone out there that's better knowledge about the
Tank with a strap on. I had a dream about that.
I'm sure somewhere out there's been a modified tank for that.
I noticed. Is this a new skin just for this video?
It's also going to be used for the next one. I try to section out the skins for every 2 videos.
I like how you got ginger hair and your head nipples are a brighter red, kind of like they've been excited a little bit. Maybe it's a little cool out.
He's been tanning, or no? You think he's getting excited?
When he gets excited, his face nipples turn red. I guess you'll see it a little closer during a cutscene.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, well, do you recognize what this particular skin, what faction it's for, or what chapter?
Niggeroth. Warhammer is a game with orcs and space marines. That's what I know about Warhammer. I mean, I'm trying to learn more, but I have no idea, man.
Well, look at its backpack. What do you see spouting off or spreading off these sides of the backpack?
Those look like leather satchels. I'm actually leaning really close to my monitor and staring at it.
No, like they look like heads.
Oh, skulls!
Yeah,
kinda?
Well, actually, it's
oh, they're
wolf's
wolves.
head.
You know what? I'm not actually that dumb. You were kind of like looking to the side there. I couldn't really see because it was facing me dead on. But yeah, I see them.
Oh.
So what are they? Iron wolves or Arctic wolves? Something wolves?
Space wolves.
Oh god, I'm the worst. Why do you even have me back?
No, they're space Vikings.
Aren't these the ones that like to drink and fight?
Yeah, they do like to fight. They seriously are space Vikings. They have long beards. They worship wolves. They have shamans.
Is there a reasonable explanation for that, or is it just the creators of Warhammer just like, oh man, I love Vikings and stuff, let's make these guys like Vikings and stuff? Is there a reason that they maybe speak like Vikings actually did?
It's mostly like every chapter is based around the planet that they're from mostly, and it's just like the basic idea was that Primarchs were split away from the Emperor of Man when they were born, and whatever planet they landed on kind of influenced each one of their mentalities, I suppose.
Okay.
And it's just the particular Primarch of the Space Wolf landed on a very frigid, Arctic, I don't want to say tribal, but almost a nomadic planet.
Not to totally jack the conversation, but I'm actually kind of upset that Penguin Dude or whatever in the last video got the rock and roll epic orc flying video, and I get the video with you walking around and shooting turrets. Not that I'm complaining.
These turrets are very exciting. They're probably the hardest thing ever, and that's why they are never featured in any other level.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a part earlier on where they were present, but really, for some reason, fuck only knows why they decided to make the security system fire on anything.
Well, and you know what? This actually isn't too bad, but I remember right after this was kind of the turning point of where the game got hard on hard mode. I don't think it'll be in this video, but the next section is the first part where I actually died a few times and was like, okay, I have to think about this.
Beyond this room.
Yeah, there is going to be a very special thing that happens towards the end of this video, as I'm sure people watching can see the actual length of the video. It's mostly due to one particular cutscene.
Well, and it's that one where I think we get a new gun that shoots that that it's like a red boxing glove, and then it retracts back to the gun. So it's kind of like
no, that was Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Okay, like
with Judge Doom and the earliest hentai that Disney made.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember Jessica Rabbit being like a little kid and getting confused by it. I'm like, but that's a cartoon. It's
yeah,
not supposed to be
remember,
like that.
I remember that, like, apparently it's been in a lot of Disney cartoons where there's been like subtle unnecessary sexuality, or like penises, or you know, like I think in some scene in Aladdin, and also just to get off topic, I really thought he was gonna press a button, but I guess I have to get this shit out of here first. But yeah, this is an upgrade to our bolter. It doesn't make me want to use the bolter more, but it does give it a little I guess barrel magazine rather than just a straight I guess cartridge magazine.
Yeah, the bolter never gets that fun in the, I mean, as it shouldn't in the single player, but online, if you actually, and it kind of sucks speccing for things on multiplayer because you have to kill so many people in so many different ways, but the bolter actually gets pretty amazing online. It's kind of
it's actually weird that the bolt pistol is actually pretty useful online.
Yeah, it always seems like that in video games where you end up getting like the starting game ends up being one of the best games for multiplayer. It's like with the original Halo. The only gun I ever used was the starting pistol because it was the best.
I know, I never played Halo. I was always out of the loop.
Yeah.
Someday I'll play Gears of War.
So, are we walking around a whole bunch in this video?
Yeah, it's this particular area is just, I don't want to say it's off-putting, but it's a very, I assume it's supposed to be atmospheric, but it mostly is just kind of plodding and it doesn't really go anywhere. Like, since the Inquisitor is part of a group called Ordos Xenos. Basically, Inquisitors they have their own chapters called Ordos, or Orders. And each... That's Latin.
They have more... They call them chapteros.
Yeah, they're Hispanic now. But yeah, like, the Ordos Xenos focuses primarily on figuring out how to, you know, properly kill alien races. And this right here is the Inquisitor's laboratory where he's supposed to experiment on and dissect and figure out the whole inner workings of all these different, you know, Xenos races. But for the most part, all you see is a bunch of orcs. And that mostly goes back to the kind of laziness of the game. Like,
isn't it supposed to be that in this whole Warhammer universe is everything is like has to be researched for 100 billion years until someone actually is allowed to use it in the field technically, but it seems in this one's like, here's some experimental weapons, here's a doomsday device, let's just use it or whatever, you know, it's not even a big deal. It's like something you'd find in a comic book, which, I mean, obviously this is, yeah, but they're supposed, it seems like from the lore that they try to lock things down a bit more than they do in this game.
It's usually relative to the situation. Like, in this case, it's a dire situation, so it requires dire measures. So, instead of using the huge Uber Titan that we're supposed to be protecting, instead we're going to try to maybe blow up the planet accidentally. Who knows? And, you know, well, normally it's also like this. His little nightlight he's carrying on his waist there, that's chaos energy, and that's not really something you want to be around.
It's just a little touch of the cancer. Just a little bit.
it's like cancer that makes you evil.
Do these people get cancer? Because, like, I'm pretty sure that drinking enough Mountain Dew Code Red over enough years will give you cancer. These people expose themselves to, like, every possible thing that could mess with you in, like, the universe. Shouldn't everybody be getting chemo if they... Like, this... How long has this guy been doing it? Like, 250 years or something?
Well, the thing is, Space Marines have super magical...
Oh, they have the magic organs. Yes.
That basically say, like, oh yeah, plot MacGuffin, I can now dodge bullets and shit.
I swear to God, reading about this stuff, it's sometimes like when you're a kid and it's just like, I shot you. Well, I'm wearing bulletproof armor. Why a bulletproof armor piercing bullets? Well, you know, like, it's like, it just seems like there's just this piled up, it's just a pile of extreme ridiculous things.
I don't even think that's relative to this game at all. I've never seen anything ludicrous or over the top anywhere related to
Not in Warhammer.
Yeah, but I think we're actually, you know, with this big, large, impressive room and that last, I guess, cadre would be a word, cadre of turrets, we're actually now completely done with the turrets.
Oh, that's great. You know what? I'm not going to complain about the level design, though, because I think everything's really beautiful in this game. I really do, and I love the real gothic architecture and everything. I just wish that they would have put something more exciting to make it worth being there. That's all.
Very good.
Yeah, because technically, the Adeptus Mechanicus should have better defenses outside. Like, those turrets were actually still servitors. They actually did have human skulls implanted into them and kind of a base AI to control their firing.
Oh, dude, you have more Supreme Fury. That's great.
Ultra Supreme Magnus Fury.
Indeed.
And it's I think it's actually the last Fury update or upgrade that we'll get in the game. And it actually makes sense where it is, rather than the last one that was in the sewer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
But there isn't like an actual thing in Warhammer called like Fury, is there?
Yeah, it's called them getting pissed off.
Yeah, I guess, but it's like, I like, is there an explanation in the game, like, why they would give you, here's your Fury? Oh, well, thanks for the intangible emotional concept, I guess.
Well, you have to realize a lot of their motivation and ideology is based around the worship of, you know, the Emperor. So, you know, if the Emperor blesses something, well then, you know, awesome.
So it's not an actual device in there that gives him fury. Maybe it was like a Slayer album and like a double neck guitar and like a picture of some really badass things, and then he just got really pumped up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But I mean, in the case of actual gameplay, it's just them trying to fit in, you know, upgrades.
Yeah.
Yeah. The actual item that you get is called a Purity Seal.
Yeah, I already see those.
Purity Seal is nothing more than a piece of paper that's a placebo. It just says, "Oh yeah, this is sanctified." You were talking about Catholicism before, so.
Oh yeah.
You know, like a Virgin Mary candle.
Well, I remember as an Ultra Boy, we had to wear purity seals around our shoes, and I never really completely understood it.
Only if you drop the canister.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff in 40K is carried over from, you know, pseudo real life experiences. So, you know, it's not completely, you know, pulled out of their asses.
Your time carrying my power.
But yeah, we've now released the, you know, the source into Unicron. So we've got the touch,
nice.
We've got the power.
Stand clear.
And yet again, somehow that canister was shielding us from chaotic energy, but now we've taken it away, and technically, we should all be corrupt by now.
Yeah.
What do you need me to do?
But
it's not in the script. Whatever.
Yeah. But thankfully, I guess negatively, the orcs have done something somewhere. Power conduit couplings, and we have to go do something.
Are the orcs actually doing something that they're aware that they're doing, or are they just pouring in and like hitting stuff?
They're just hitting stuff.
Okay.
Like we'll see in a second whenever we get up to the roof area.
The rough, yeah.
Yeah, but this particular journal entry from Drogon, where he's really going into should I mess with evil power? Yes. That's the entire point.
I know, it kind of seems a bit obvious at this point, you know, that maybe he's a little bit of a sneaker.
No, that's all of the Inquisition.
They're all
the Inquisition is, yeah, they're always working towards their own end. They really, their motivation, even though it's supposed to be for the Emperor and the Empire, it's more, oh, this is fucking cool. I bet this will be helpful.
Let's put more skulls on it and see if it goes faster.
Rip this planet apart.
Pretty much. Or I should enslave a demon because it'll help me fight more demons. Sure. Yeah, you're not just signing a pact with the demon. No.
Whatever these, like, I guess the Empire, do they play around with the demon stuff, or is that general? I thought that was all kind of like heresy sort of thing, right?
In all truthfulness, most of the Imperium, or the Empire of Man,
yeah,
they don't even know demons exist. It's just a boogeyman. It's just a fairy tale. Like,
really? Because don't like entire planets basically get destroyed in the mythos of it? Weren't there massive wars that spanned over like an entire universe?
They just don't talk about those.
God, it really is like being Catholic.
Yeah, it pretty much any normal person that comes in contact with the warp or with chaos, there's a good 90% chance that they are tainted and they will go batshit crazy. Like this big evil ring right here. I'm sure this will. This is the Psychic Scourge.
Hey, do the orcs ever get tainted by?
If they do, they don't really notice it.
Because chaos plus Wog would be kind of neat. That would be a thing.
Firing.
Well, the thing is, like, they're both different types of psychic energy. So, normally the Wa kind of overwrites any kind of chaotic influence, if that makes sense.
I've been looking for you, Space Marine.
Oh, look at all that purple.
There's my favorite. There's my buddy.
Why didn't it work?
Damn that Drogon! Never trust the Inquisition! Stand fast, Ultramarines. We can handle a few orcs. Space Marine! Was that supposed to hurt?
Demons! How is this possible?
Ah! You got new friends now, Space Marine! I see. My servant did all that I hoped and more. But he would never have succeeded without you, Captain Titus. Thanks to these brave space marines, we have broken through to this reality. The blessed gateway. Clever fool. You seem surprisingly able to resist my touch, Titus of the Ultramarines. And that of the war, which impressed my servant to no end. You think the Inquisitor a traitor, but Drogon has been dead since before you first met. You have been used by my puppet of flesh and bone. I ain't so easy to kill.
How come he didn't use force choke on him? Or whatever.
Well, obviously, his more powerful Wah was overpowering. I don't even fucking know. That particular Chaos Lord is a weird amalgamation of a bunch of different things all shoved together. Like, well, obviously you know about, there's different Chaos Gods, right?
Yeah, but his face was all messed up.
Yeah, like, actually you may have noticed that there was a symbol on his face.
Yeah, and that's one of the... Is it Slaanesh?
Well,
I'm gonna guess.
Well, that's actually the sign of Chaos Undivided.
Oh, okay.
Which means I can magically worship anything, blah 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 blah, because it's easier than just picking one god. Which means that he can have, corn melee guys who are like bloodthirsty. He can summon in these demons we're fighting right now, which are called bloodthirsters.
Fucking demons. Like, I'm just gonna say it right now. Spoiler alert: these things are like 90% of the rest of the game. They're so annoying because it never changes.
Did we cause?
Yeah, but basically, Chaos forces kind of make a large shift from being. Orcs were primarily melee with a few range. Chaos becomes mostly range that does a shit ton of damage with melee that teleports around and does a shit ton of damage.
I know, it's just those demons that you saw right there, I wish they had done maybe a little bit of variation, like maybe did a bunch of different models for them maybe, because they all look the same and it just kind of...
Well, they are in the tabletop.
I guess so, yeah.
They're just, demons.
And it's not so bad right now. I mean, like, they are really cool and everything. It's just they're kind of there for the rest of the game. And after a while, you get a little sick of them. That was my only complaint.
It does show, like, a cool effect of you can actually see the orcs and Chaos fighting. Obviously, they're not buddy-buddy. They're not really working towards the same goal or anything like that. Especially after that epic shoving match, which they could have made that look so much better.
Really? Oh, I kind of like that.
He was just shoving him around.
Oh, the fight there? Yeah, I guess. Because it was like push, and then you pulled him over the thing.
Yeah, it really makes you feel like the war boss was just uber weak in comparison. It was like, not really. I mean,
I was impressed by the war boss because the war boss ran in there and, kind of like smacked around this guy that had just completely dominated these space marines. But it was just in the most awkward kind of like baby shove fight way ever.
Yeah, and then he just, I don't know, it kind of eliminates the fact that we won't be seeing either of them for a while because they managed to pull each other off into like a bottomless abyss or something.
Yeah. Which is kind of why I like the War Boss so much, just because it's like he wasn't really shoved down your throat the whole game. I kind of wish I would have saw more of him, but I don't know, every time you encounter him, it's a special little treat.
Yeah. But actually, I mean, pretty much this last little bit is just to introduce us to, you know, the starting Chaos units, but mostly it's just, we've kind of caused a Chaos invasion on the planet, and now that really makes us fucking evil.
Yeah, there's no oopsie, did I do that? I guess in Warhammer, you either caused an invasion or you didn't, you know?
Yeah. But actually, that's the end of the episode. I want to thank Mantaco for joining me again.
It's true.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.